Good morning, starting my day right, courtesy of the Bobster with some fruit, some blueberries, pineapple, strawberries and yummy goodness. Had my cup of tea, standard thing in the UK. No tea in the morning, there's a high possibility you can't function. Apparently I also require a bone, a dog's bum and a dinosaur tooth.
Well, now you're welcome. They're a good nibble.
Must be love, love, love.
This one, the big one, is a bit tough on your gums, so be careful. Oh, my brain itches. I wonder what it's like to have thumbs.
Mad scientist.
Apple and blackberry protein crumble.
Wow, I love a bit of crumble. You're making a protein crumble, I'm be eating that crumble. See, the thing with the Bobster is, she's constantly experimenting. Most of the time it goes really well, sometimes it doesn't. But the fact that she's always experimenting means that when she gets something right, not only does it start good, but she gets even better at perfecting it as she goes on. So this way, we're constantly eating things that are takes on unclean or bad or high impact foods on a daily basis and enjoying them with added micros, added health benefits. So I guess what we've got to learn here is 1, experiment, 2, don't be afraid to fail, and 3, don't get stuck eating grilled chicken, broccoli and boring bland boiled rice, and 4, find yourself a lady. So this is my I've been cleaning the pond outfit, but something cool came today. Stuff for that is just charging down there. This is DJ Phantom 3, so got this in the professionals, so it's the 4K, so that's going to be practice drone, and one that hopefully even Lainey will be able to use. Here she is in her domain, making all the tasty stuff.
It's a Thai chicken salad.
Recipe on your channel?
Yep.
Will appear here in a tag link, also in the description. Check out her kitchen diaries will be in the description. Just had to clean the little Bailey's ears now, so she is not too happy with me. Are you? No, not happy with me at all. She gets very dry ears because she has sticky up ears, so they're not protected like Roxy's are. Yours are fine, aren't they, Rox? Oi, they're bloody good. Yep. And just wanted to show you that eating healthy and eating colourful and eating clever does not have to mean eating boring. It's gorgeous. And in here, remember we saw it earlier? Well, it's getting baked off. That is the healthy
Blackberry and apple protein crumble.
Ooh. Mwah. And there we have it. The healthy rhubarb. No. What's it? Apple and blackberry crumble with low-fat vanilla ice cream. Boom. So this video just went live for you guys. Already loving it. 10,000 views already. Super quick. Apologies for the lack of video uploading frequency. It is partially due to getting footage together and also being a bit limited on what I'm able to show you until I show you the new stuff that's coming, but also the fact that our internet sucks for uploading. It's so bad. It's like we have great download, like, and then we have this 1.2 upload, which is just like little the gerbils carrying the megabytes, but they nibble at the megabytes as they carry it forward for you. It just sucks. It takes forever, but we're doing our best. So yesterday a drone arrived. I've ordered the DJ Phantom 3 and it's basically just to get practicing using some drones so it didn't cost the earth, and if something was to happen to it that's clearly never happened before.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again.
Then it's not the end of the world. I'm really intent on getting the Mavic though, but I think I'm gonna have to get that one from America and get it shipped over here because we don't get it till November, so I'm ready to rock and roll. I'm rocking out in my biker gear, and this is one of the new jumpers that we will be releasing mid-October from the Desire range. So this is our raw cut, curved hem, raw neck. Woo! There'll be 2 prints in this jumper. There'll also be 2 new t-shirts and 1 single final racerback that you guys wanted to come back in. So keep an eye out for that. Stay tuned on social media to find out when that's out. Other than that, I'm gonna go take my bike in. For those of you who don't know, I'll show you the bike in detail when we get there, but basically, it's an old girl. She needs some work on her. It's gonna be a winter project. I wanna get it all nice and pretty and shiny, ready for the season next year, so that's gonna be a winter project. So that means there's bits and bobs to go on. Problem being,
The guys I use are called Rusty Spoke, and they're very good. They're especially good at restoration of older bikes. They're about a 40-minute drive away, which means I always have to bring Lainey in to help me get back, which she's beginning to dislike. So I'm about to get ready, go take that bike there, and when I get there, I'll show you the bike, because a lot of you have been asking what it is. There's a little face at the door. The little Bobster, killing the morning cardio, killing the game, looking amazing. So the other day as well, I went and got something pretty cool, and they are basically specialized earplugs that allow you to still hear, because they have a filter on the end which cuts out all the bad decibels but still has that hole through the middle so you can hear. The funny thing is you have to put them in using this weird little tool, so you put the end in here and then you have to twist, not the best for long hair, you have to twist it into your ear like that is in there. But it's weird because it means when you get off the bike, first thing you do is take your helmet off, take out some weird little pouch and start fiddling around the ear. It looks like you've got there and you've got a really bad ear cleaning compulsion. It's these things. If you want to know, and the jacket is by DXR. Very hard to find, but very, very good quality. Again, highly recommended. So we're here at Rusty Spoke, dropping the girl off. Here you can see they got a lot of classics in here, so they're very used to it. So for those of you that have been asking, this is the K75C. This is a 1985 model. So basically what these would have been, they would have looked like this. And then they get stripped, all the fairings come off here. This has been cut and at the back here with a new seated subframe put on there, so obviously that shortens it up a little bit. Handlebars on it are obviously not the same ones, so this has a raised handlebar position. Obviously that nice new headlight gives it a new feature, and the dials have all been removed because the dials on the old ones are huge ugly bearing things. And so it's going to come in today. It's having all the front suspension done, it's got a new rear shock going on. It's going to come in over winter and we're going to tidy her all up and you'll see her looking just beautiful. Hi. Grab those for me.
Don't leave them on.
Lovely Lainey coming to pick me up. Then we are going, what day is it?
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday. So then Friday we are flying off to Paris. So we're going to spend a few days in Paris just having some time together. Probably wandering around shops, drinking a lot of espressos, bit of wine.
It's our first break since last December. It's like Ireland doesn't count because we have to spend time with family.
I have a friend who lives there, who him and his wife are just expecting their first child, so it'll be nice to catch up with them on the Sunday. All I do know, on the Sunday, we're going to the gay district in Gay Paris. I want a feather boa.
Not even facing the door.
I'm sure we'll be now. We're still moment. Hi, Trouble. Hi. Hi. Hey, hi! So home, and it's time now to head to the gym. It's midday. The Bobster is busy making her late breakfast. Why are you eating breakfast so late?
Because I do intermittent fasting.
I tried intermittent fasting. I was intermittently bad at hitting targets.
It was really bad.
I just couldn't fit it in during the day. 8 hours was not enough time for me to get food in, so I forget to eat, and then I couldn't get it in, and it just didn't work for me. The theory behind it was cellular repair. So it's not so much really to do with muscle building directly. It was actually originally thought out for cellular repair and cellular function, which in turn would lead to a better functioning body, which in turn would, in theory, lead to more efficient gains. But yeah, anyway, so I'm having my second kind of intake for the day of breakfast style food. It's one of my absolute favorites, and this is Bircher muesli. Lainey kindly makes me this. She uses,
The recipe's on my channel.
is it?
Yeah.
Link will appear here for the Bircher muesli. So people are always asking what's the best thing to have before you go into a workout. I would say it's good to either have, if you're heading to the gym straight away, what's going on? If you're heading to the gym straight away, then you're going to want something quick. This is a great way of doing it. Bananas, honey, and I've got the Bircher underneath, which is going to be a slower burner, but that also has raisins in it, so it's going to be sweet. It's going to have the fast acting carbs in there. If you're in a super rush and you want to enjoy something that's a little bit of a treat, I opt for things like Haribo for getting quick energy in because they're basically pure, unrefined sugar. They don't take much digestion, straight in. And the great thing about stuff like that is, even though it's technically not healthy, it gets the job done. It's not full of micronutrients, unlike this. Don't be afraid of utilizing different things, but if you want to obviously boost your macros, go for the fruits, dried fruits, honey, something that's a little more natural and found within nature. If you want to go with something fun, Haribos, sweets, treats, rice cakes, all those kind of things. I mix between the two. I'll often have this, and then during training, we'll nibble away on sweets. Try and avoid the sours though on leg days, because they tend to make it a little bit... So it's a simple matter of eating this, having my coffee. Appreciate the coffee. Look at that. Look at that creme. Woo. So this is a big one for people who are always on about stimulant-based things before a workout. Number one, you don't want to get reliant on stimulants to feed you through a workout. So make sure you're doing a couple of workouts a week without any kind of stimulant before you go in, so that you know mentally that you've got it in you anyway to do it. Having this coffee, this is really clean. Is this a single espresso?
It's the double one pressed twice. Longer. It's just an Americano.
It's a single. I think it's pretty much about 80 to 100 milligrams of caffeine in there alone. So not a huge dosage. I've been having that along with... Bam, this is my go-to. So this is the EHP Labs. This is the PSI. So again, this is more about vasodilation, blood flow and pump. There is zero stims in this, which is a brilliant one. So that means that you can still get those physiological effects that you love without smashing your beta receptors to pieces. Albums are good and that, but they always have those songs on them that are kind of, you know, you get to me, oh, skip. So I thought I'd make a playlist that will actually not have to skip. Oh, come on. Didn't save it. Okay, so I've done it. So now I, in theory, have a heck of a good playlist for every time I'm in the gym. There should be no need to skip, should be no need to lose focus. Let's do this.
So back with some squats, back and some functional work I'm going to show you today. Here, just look at my heels. You see how they're raising up? What I'm here is working on dorsiflexion and stretching into the motion of the squat that I'm going to get down to. You can help drive heels down by grabbing something in front of you, then pushing your weight through your heels and then driving knees forward to help improve and stretch on the dorsiflexion, as well as the exercises you saw in the last video. If you haven't seen that, check back. A little card will pop up here on the screen now for you. Then working on glute engagement and working on those motor pathways. So here I'm working on engaging my glutes and rolling my knees out. So I'm just getting that movement into my head. So no matter what you've done in the gym you think looks stupid, don't worry, I've done something that looks weirder. But here you can see, look, I'm rolling my knees and engaging my glutes at the same time. Again, practice. Doing things over time makes them a natural thing. Then here you can see me doing my stripper pole dance, which is me again, just learning to move down into the motion, allowing the body to stretch out, because I was very sore from doing all the squats all the time at the moment. So I ease myself in here, doing holding on to something at the front, going into squat motion, and then letting go and doing it body weight. Then I rolled out using that infamous pink roller, here rolling on the glute, so you hold it in position and then roll it through. And again, I've done everything else, the IT band release and everything as we've shown before, but I also haven't shown you this, which is the lower back. If you find you have a lower back pain, rolling out the lower back can be very, very good. Here you can see me doing an angle to hit one side of the lower back, then I'll flip over and do the right hand side and then move back to do the entire back here. What I'm doing is completely sinking all my weight into the roller, and it really is tender on the lower back if you've been squatting a lot. Again, talking about release work, hip control, hip flexor release. This is, so I think you call it the scared cat, but this is a very, very good one for, again, allowing hip release, loosening off the back, and just getting the body through the range of mobility that's going to be used that day. Give it a go, and remember, if you feel like you look stupid, Lex has done the same thing, is probably doing it right now. Squat shoes back on, and again back under the bar. So as I said, I'm trying to squat pretty much every session that I'm in the gym. whether it be a dedicated session or just 4 sets. This was more of a dedicated session of doing up to 6 sets. Again, I started with that lightweight, and look how good the movement has become. I feel so good with this at the moment, but I'm still perfecting where my little sweet spot is. So if you watch here now, the video is going to pause and I'm going to show you a problem that occurs with me here. That is the right ankle collapsing because I hadn't rolled out properly. See a replay again in real time. You'll see it just rolling just a touch. You'll see me correct on the next movement and then put the bar down. So one, it was due to a little bit of maybe lack of concentration, but also the fact that I was still pretty tight being the first set. My body is still getting used to this movement. It's really important to not get frustrated when things keep going wrong, because the fact of the matter is, a few months ago I couldn't even do the squatting motion, and now I'm back actively squatting pretty much every session. That is a huge progression. Always remember where you started and where you're at. Here you can see me, I've got the 10 plates extra on each side moving into the 3rd set, so I'm up to that weight where I was my maximum, and then the week before I pushed and I added that extra 5 on the side. So here, this is my 2nd set of doing the weight I said I was going to chase, and look how good it felt. Straight down, no roll, really strong, pulling on the bar. You can see me rolling my knees out there, engaging, driving through. There's no butt wink. I found my sweet spot with my feet being a touch wider and my feet a little less angled. I'm maintaining pulling on the bar from this moment all the way down, pull on the bar and pulling on the drive back up. I'm also trying to maintain a neutral head, chest up, and I'm bracing my core, driving through my heels and rolling the weight outward onto the toes and rolling the knees out.
So there we go. In the last video I said this will be my new weight to chase, and I just did 2 sets. There was no pain. It felt solid. The only things you need to remember is to pull on the bar and keep pulling on the bar the whole time, all the way through the whole motion, not just on the upward part. And 2, roll those knees out, roll those knees out. But once they're rolled out, to leave them there, not to keep trying to drive through on the way down. Wait for that drive to come on the way back up. Because if you roll out and keep rolling outward on the way down, by the time you're trying to roll outward on the way up, it can actually cause you to push your knees a little bit too wide, and that can cause a little bit of knee pain. That's what I found anyway. But fucking happy. So now I'm going to go do some back now, but I also wanted to show you some functional work. So we're going to do 2 exercises on back, as I would normally, then we're going to put in a load of functional body movements you guys can use. And the reason I'm doing that today is because tonight I have a 2nd training session of the thing I'm not allowed to show you yet. But what I want to be is not too stiff, not sore, and not completely devastated from this session to be able to do the endurance side of that session.
So moving on to back with some seated rows, and I want to show you the body position that I like to do on this. You'll see me lie all the way back here. The reason I do this is it allows me to set my shoulders because the weight is loaded through the body and you're not having to hold it up and lose concentration by maintaining the weight being held up. From there you pull from the elbows, you're driving through with your chest, and you'll notice here I'm keeping an arch in my lower back the whole time. I'm not letting my shoulders go and fire forward. That's really important. Fruit pastels were my sweet of choice during this workout for when I felt like I was lagging a little bit. But from this angle here you can see, look how I'm moving forward from the hips. I'm allowing the arms to extend, but what I'm not doing is letting the shoulders pop. My chest stays up the entire time, arching my lower back, and I'm driving through my legs, not letting them flex at the knees. This is a big problem a lot of have, is they flex at the knees and drive through the feet. Also, don't overextend. Look how I'm coming back up to a seated position and I'm not overextending. That's really important.
Okay, so really not too much to say about pull-ups other than the fact of making sure that you're only holding wide enough for your wingspan. Like if you're a 6 foot odd guy, you're gonna need to hold wider than someone like myself who's like 5'8", 5'9". So make sure that you're holding at the appropriate areas. Make sure when you're pulling that both your elbow positions are the same. You see a lot of people will have one elbow rolled in and one out, and it kind of actually makes them pull at an angle, which is very bad. So make sure that you're either pulling off with rolled in or rolled out. Personally, I like to roll in, like with the bench press. That way I'm focusing on that scapular control, that pulling action, and it's all going to benefit one exercise into the other. This is body weight, but obviously you can be progressive with this movement as well by doing a couple of times a week with a weighted, and a couple of times a week just body weight. I'm aiming for like 8 to 12 reps body weight. If I was doing it progressive and weighted, I would be aiming for somewhere between 4 to 8. That same progressive overload theory. If you struggle with pull-ups, what you can do is create a platform underneath that you're able to touch your feet down on. Then all you're going to do is tuck your feet up towards your butt when you lift off, and then as you're doing your reps, when you begin to fatigue, you can touch your feet down, take a 3-second rest, and then go back up. You can use a block as a starting point and just power through. If you want to improve on the pull-ups, if maybe you're not very good at them yet, or you can't do them, you can touch down on after the negative of each one and literally launch off that platform, just to get the body used to lifting the weight and getting used to that explosive movement upward. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself progressive. It does not matter what anyone else can do. Just do what benefits you. What I'm going to show you now is two versions of this. I'm going to do 5 reps with allowing my scapula to release, but I know they're releasing, it's not accidental, and show you the pull-up motion with that. Then I'm going to do 5 reps with the scapula retracted. These are 2 variations you can do depending on how good you are at scapular control.
So just to give you a heads up, I'd already done 4 sets of 10 to 12 on these. So here you're going to look at the scapular release, 5 reps. So you can see how when I get to the bottom, I'm allowing the shoulder region to release and raise upward, but that is completely controlled. I'm not allowing the body weight to just sink and fall down. So it's a complete control, pull from the elbows, chest up, lower arch, but on the negative you allow your body to go as far down as possible. With the scapula contracted, you don't allow the shoulders to let that body release, so you can see how the body remains at an angle and you're kind of pulling your chest up towards the bar. Little fatigued here, so it was a little stunted, but you get the idea anyway.
Now keeping your scapula retracted is obviously more work. You're having to focus a lot more on that negative to maintain the scapular control, so it is a lot more load bearing, but it also does help you engage and control the scapula. Have a play around, see which one works better for you. If you tend to get elbow pain on these, avoid doing the scapular retracted ones. Allow them to release, but make sure that you're engaging them and being functional throughout. Make sure you're controlling that engagement, that you're not just allowing the shoulders to drop because you're releasing all the tension. It's a controlled negative. Make sure in every single one that you are pulling from the elbows. Don't pull from the hands. Start the motion here. That will load the back way quicker, way more efficiently, and more safely.
A really great functional movement and some work with some kettlebells. If you have not used kettlebells before, they are a fantastic implement to put into your workout routine. They're a great tool and can be used for many things. Here we're doing the shoulder clean and press. This works well because it is a good compound movement. You're using the squat and hips to fire the kettlebell up at the beginning of the motion and then driving through from the shoulders. What you want to watch here is when you're snapping the kettlebell over the hand is if you grip a little harder as it snaps over, it will slow the momentum and that will protect your forearm, because this will bruise you if you don't do that. You're looking to keep your chest up and arching your lower back, controlling your core, driving through your legs through the first part of the motion. Once the kettlebell is elevated up and over the shoulder, then you want to be able to drive up and through from the shoulder itself, pushing towards the ceiling, keeping your palm upward. The wrist wraps that you see me wearing here are not for my wrists. They're actually put there just for padding for when the kettlebell comes over the top, and that just helps stop bruising. So just for a guide, I was using a 16 kilogram kettlebell. If you've not done it before, 12 is pretty good. Aiming for 10 reps each side. Once the weight goes down, you fire it straight back up, so you're looking for that continual explosive movement. What you want to do once you've done 10 reps is quickly switch onto the other side, and 20 reps in total is 1 set completed. You can aim to obviously improve on this over time if you want to maintain the same weight, or you can go for progressive overload and look to increase the weight over time. The final thing that I did that day was dips, and you can look here, if you just rewind a little bit there, you'll see me measuring my hand distance from the edge of the bar. That's to make sure that each hand is equal on each side of the bar. If you just get up there and start dipping, there's a chance that if you have an impingement on one side or an imbalance, that you're going to grip on a slight different point on each side of the bar and have the body at an angle, and that's what you want to avoid. Looking here, you can see I'm not going excessively deep. All that does is stress the tendons and ligaments in the shoulders. You want to keep your chest up, come down to a right angle of the arm and drive through the hands. Try not to go too deep when you get tired. If you do get tired, put your feet down, take a rest and carry on. 4 to 5 sets of 20 reps to completion. Hope you've enjoyed this. Don't forget to like and comment with any questions or ideas below.
So there we have it, some functional movements to finish the workout on, and I'm absolutely gone. First training session of the day done, second secret session in about 4 hours. A nice finish to any routine that you might like to do. You can add those on. If you watched I'd say 2-3 months ago on the videos, I was doing pull-ups and dips at the end of every single session no matter what, and that was just to improve on functionality, because I felt just being in the gym and just doing weights was too one-dimensional. So I put that functionality back in by adding some bodyweight movements into every single training session that I had. But now that I'm doing the secret stuff, which is a bit more functional, or way more functional, I'm only going to need to include this, say, 3 times a week or so, whenever I feel like doing it. But no matter what, adding those bodyweight movements in and those ranges of motion are 100% going to benefit you. Don't always think that you need weight to make gains, to make progression. Remember, it's just tension and overload and consistency.